Okay, so we'll start by just by doing a bit of breathing meditation. As usual, the idea here is we want to collect our energies into this place where we are, which is our body. And breathing isn't anywhere else but right here in our body. So this allows us to collect our energies here. Where we focus is where our energies come to. So we focus here in our breathing, we collect our energies, which may be scattered from running around. And also we're going to collect our awareness into the present moment, because our breathing isn't in the past and it's not in the future. It's only right here. It's only right now. So we'll use our breathing to collect ourselves into the here and now. So consistent with our way we'll be meditating in a few moments on neutrality, we can also apply this method now to our focus on breathing, in that naturally the mind will continue to present to our awareness other things than our feeling of breathing. But we don't have to chase them away. We just let them be without giving them any weight or any attention. So we don't have to be concerned about what else may be happening in our mind. We just have to continually remind ourselves that what we have chosen to do is to maintain a continual focus on our breathing. Anything that comes up, we just don't give it any mind. Great. Okay, so now we'll shift our focus to a visualization of Buddha Shakyamuni in the space in front of us. You can imagine the teaching throne supported by 8 Bodhisattva snow lions, the lotus, sun, and moon, and the Buddha seated upon that, his body made out of golden light. Made out of light helps us to recognize that reality, and the Buddha also knows that reality isn't as solid as it appears. In our visualization, also, this is not like visualizing a tanka. We understand and feel, imagine and feel that the Buddha is really here in front of us. And although that may be a kind of a overwhelming and awe-inspiring sort of thing to imagine, we also feel completely comfortable. We get a sense from the Buddha that we're all right, that everything's fine. He's gazing back at us with a completely accepting, peaceful, loving kindness. And by way of an informal refuge, feeling like we are sitting with the Buddha, almost like if we're in a pleasant cafe, and across from the table from us was the Buddha, and we're having a friendly conversation. We feel like we can say anything we want to say or need to say, and the Buddha is listening to us like a good friend. So, whatever concerns, whatever obstacles, whatever we're searching for and would like to experience, and how we'd like to become in our own minds, in our own language, imagine having a conversation with the Buddha, sharing our deepest wishes and fears in a very safe and comfortable way. We'll do that for a moment. We'll also do this formally, but experientially, by bringing to mind these seven practices of the seven limbs. The first one is prostration, which in our mind, prostration means having an appreciation for the qualities of the fully awakened mind and for the activities of the fully awakened body. So again, thinking that we are seated just in front of a perfect example, and just bringing to mind how much we value the qualities of the Buddha. This is a mental prostration. And then a verbal prostration is saying these out loud. And usually this means in a form of a praise. Like how awesome you are, so whatever. We're not, we're not going to do a lot of praise as text. We don't have that, but just think of this as whatever we say as a praise. This is a verbal prostration, and then physical prostration can be just holding our hands folded in front of our heart. So for a moment, I prostrate to you, the Buddha, with my body, speech, and mind. And the Buddha patiently and encouragingly receives our prostration. And then we make offerings to the Buddha. Like having a special guest, we like to have a clean place to invite the Buddha, and we'd like to make offerings. So following in the tradition of Lama Rinpoche, whatever we have set out, but also we can imagine um, all the offerings made in all the Dharma centers and then other, practitioners' homes, All of these have the nature of uncontaminated, infinite bliss, which we offer to the Buddha, feeling that the Buddha is also our teacher, our guru, and is the coming together of all objects of refuge. And Lama Zopa would sometimes encourage us to think like a mantra: prostrate, offer, generate infinite great bliss in the mind of Guru Buddha. Prostrate, offer, generate infinite great bliss. 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 And make offerings both set out and imagined. Then we do a confession practice. I confess all my wrong deeds from beginningless time. So I don't know if this has happened to you, but sometimes in the presence of a great holy being, we want to share our life story. And we will, sometimes in the presence of overwhelmingly positive qualities like that, and we measure ourselves against this, and we see how we have so far to go, and we also think of the mistakes we've made and how we are burdened with the weight of past mistakes, and we'd like to set that down, so we can think now we have this opportunity. So we lay bare completely everything we feel that we've done wrong, or mistakes we've made, or weaknesses we have that we'd like to change. We come clean. And the Buddha continues to regard us with this peaceful, accepting, loving kindness. And we rejoice. We rejoice in the virtue of all holy and ordinary beings. How amazing, how wonderful. Even our own virtue, for we must have done something quite special in the past to be here right now, to have done what we've done so far, and to be able to continue to do what we are going to do. Please stay until samsara ceases. So here we can offer an indestructible teaching throne. Wishing, the essence of this is cultivating a mind wishing never, ever to be separated from the Buddha, from the Guru Buddha, in this life and in all future lives. And with this heartfelt wish, we offer an indestructible teaching throne. And please turn the wheel of Dharma. So the essence of this mind is a request, but we're also telling ourselves that we are now ready to have the Dharma change us. We're ready to listen and to contemplate and to be changed and to emerge from all of our suffering. And so we can imagine offering a 1,000-spoke Dharma wheel, not only for ourselves, but for all sentient beings to receive the teachings of the Buddha. And then we dedicate all of our merits to our own and the full awakening of all sentient beings. Okay, so now having done that visualization, the 7 limbs, we can do a brief visualization of purification according to Lama Yeshe. So we imagine rays of light from the Buddha, white rays of light from the Buddha, coming to our crown and completely filling our body, speech and mind with white light. This primarily purifies our body. Rays of red light coming from the throat of the Buddha, the speech of the Buddha, entering our throat, purifying our body, speech, and mind with red light, but primarily our speech. And then blue light rays coming from the Buddha, entering the level of our heart, filling our entire body, speech, and mind with blue light, purifying primarily our mind. And then we'll recite the mantra of the Buddha, which is here. We'll do this only 7 times, but we'll do it slowly. And then we'll imagine the Buddha dissolving into us. Jayata Om Mune Mune Mahamudra Meditation. Jayata Om Mune Mune Mahamudra. Jayata Om Mune Mune Mahamudra Swaha. 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 Now we imagine that the Buddha blesses us by becoming smaller, coming to the top of our head, and then dissolving to light, which showers down into us like rain falling into a lake. To feel that the Buddha enters our heart, and we meditate on the truth that there's no way to distinguish between the ultimate nature of our own mind and the ultimate nature of the Buddha's mind. Mhm. Our mind and the mind of the Buddha is indistinguishably one. And this is a feeling of great spaciousness, peace, and clarity. Here, Lama Yeshe would also encourage us to relax into this experience. So now, feeling like the Buddha is with us, we shift our focus to allowing the mind to experience whatever it will experience. And our job now is not to engage with that content of our mind, but to maintain a neutral acceptance. We accept whatever appearance, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, without chasing it away or chasing it down, chasing after it. We just allow it to enter onto our awareness, and then we release it, and whatever is our next experience, the same. So we just observe this stream of awareness with a neutral, with a non-engaged, neutral perspective. Doesn't matter how bad it is, it's just content of our mind. We don't have to react. Doesn't matter how wonderful it is, it's just content in our mind, and we let it go. We may find our mind engaged in reflection on the past or plans for the future. So ask from yourself permission not to have to reflect on the past or plan for the future during this meditation session. We seek permission from ourselves to let go of the past and the future. An example can be that our mind is like the sky, vast, calm and clear, and there are clouds which are content of our mind. We don't need to become preoccupied with the clouds, with whatever sensations, thoughts. Instead, we want to be aware of the sky. The sky allows any kind of weather. We allow everything that's content to come and go. in the sky consciousness of our mind. Another example is our mind is an ocean, vast, calm ocean. And yes, there may be ripples on the surface, or even sometimes big waves, but we don't have to engage in the waves. They're just on the surface. They come and go. Here in the depths of the ocean, it's very calm. And we don't have to be carried away by the waves. We can let them come and go. Sometimes we, despite our preparation, may become overwhelmed with a piece of content. So then we can return to breathing meditation to regain a stability and a calm. We can also think that the Buddha is here with us and connect again with our awareness of the Buddha and ask for help from the Buddha. So the goal of this meditation practice is to allow content of the mind to settle down. When we don't add energy to the content of our mind by chasing it or chasing it away, our mind becomes more and more peaceful, more and more clear. We start to become aware of the mind is the sky rather than the content. The mind is the ocean rather than the waves. But we don't chase this experience either. We just let it reveal itself to us. So we will practice this for another few minutes. Our concentration is on neutrality. Or if you start to gain a feeling for the vast, open clarity of our mind, like the sky or like the ocean, then we ease into that experience without grasping at it. As we ease into this experience of clarity of the mind, vast open clarity of the mind, as content of the mind falls away, we may even start to feel like we're falling asleep, because it's a bit like that, but we don't allow ourselves to lose consciousness. We maintain an awareness, even of this very simplified, vast clarity. We maintain a continuity of awareness, of consciousness. So again, letting go of whatever is the content, however nice it is or troubling it is. It's just mere content to the mind, like a cloud in the sky or a wave on the ocean. We are not the content of our mind. If anything, we are more like the sky or the ocean. And if we don't know what's happening, we feel a bit lost with what's going on in our mind, we can always connect again to the Buddha as our foundation. And nothing would make the Buddha happier than for us to recognize that our own nature is indistinguishable from the nature of the Buddha's mind. And we can completely rely on that. Once we've developed some familiarity with being neutral to the content of our mind, and the mind starts to reveal its nature. A metaphor for this experience is the mind is a mirror. The mind is not what is reflected in the mirror. The mind is the mirror itself. And if there was nothing there to be reflected in the mirror, what does the mirror reflect? It reflects its own nature. This mirror of our mind is something that is beyond this life. It is beyond the content that it reflects. And as we come to see ourselves as this mirror only, we gain freedom from the reflections, from the content. We take one step forward towards emerging from the overwhelming experiences of the content of our mind by holding to this neutral perspective towards the content of our mind, not giving the content of our mind any energy, instead watching for the nature of the mind to emerge in the gaps between the content. Allowing our mind to reveal its own nature, to reflect only its own nature, and not any other piece of content. So as we bring this meditation session to a close, we'll recite the mantra Buddha Shakyamuni again 3 times, and then offer a dedication. Yata mune mune Mahamudra Meditation. Yata mune Mahamudra Meditation. Yata mune Mahamudra. And we dedicate whatever goodness, whatever virtue, whatever experience we've had from this morning or this afternoon so far to going beyond, this circle of mistake that we call ordinary existence, to becoming and to completely experiencing our own potential, that of becoming a fully awakened being. So we dedicate this to something beyond our current, what appears to be an inherently existing self, beyond that. The recognition of our fully awakened self. And consistent with that also, as the fully awakened mind directly perceives and understands and is engaged with every sentient being, we imagine offering whatever we've collected here of benefit as a beautiful gift, imagining going beyond the seeming constraints of time and space to offer to each sentient being here and now our own virtue, that all sentient beings may become fully awakened.